built 19 different businesses, some really crappy ones, some lost a lot of money in, and some that have done okay, thankfully. And I thought, hey, I've done it in this industry. Why not come over to restaurants?
Oh, yeah.
Jumped into opening two more restaurants. And where's the biggest, busiest location in Perth that I can set up my next?
So
and
what made it fail exactly?
it was the wrong demographic. Well, still going this business called Tommy Sugo, and we manufacture pasta in this shopping centre. It was very much Asian demographics. The most common question when people came up to the till was, what is spaghetti? Like, they wanted me to explain what spaghetti was.
And so that business didn't, how long did you keep it there before realizing it wasn't?
3 years. 3 years we were there for. It came to a time where I had to say, no, this is ridiculous. I had one person afterwards come up and said, oh, you're not in that shopping centre anymore. And I said, no, we're not. And they said, oh, cool, and walked off. That was it. And it was the best decision I ever made. I guess the dopamine side of things that I really enjoy talking about and helping people with. So
how so?
How to use dopamine in business. It's actually something that no one really talks about, but it's in my mind, it's a huge advantage.
What's the advantage of dopamine in business?
Yeah, 2 years ago, I set up some meetings with 7 hotels over there to run a weight loss program. And I went over there and met with 7, and out of the 7, 6 said, yeah, this is awesome, let's do it. It was, I'm not going to cost you a cent. I'm not going to charge you 1 cent. I'll set up this phenomenal weight loss program. You can use it. You advertise it. There's zero risk. If it doesn't work, if it falls on its face, no problem.
What if the secret weapon behind 19 businesses, a Shark Tank appearance, and a Guinness World Record is a molecule your brain already produces for free? Nathan Baws, my guest today, grew up in a single-parent household with almost nothing. So he did what entrepreneurs do. He built things, 19 of them: health shops, restaurants, pasta brands, and hotel weight loss programs, and more. Some made millions, some lost them all. All of them taught him something. But the real edge, Nathan discovered, wasn't a marketing strategy or a business model. It was his own brain chemistry, specifically dopamine, and how to use it to stay sharp, energized, and hungry, especially when everything is going wrong. This is a conversation about resilience, momentum, passion over purpose, and the art of creating opportunities out of thin air. Please welcome Nathan Baws. Awesome. So, love to start with this one question, especially since you're building your personal brand now. What's something that you wish people knew more of about you that you maybe don't talk about enough?
What's something I wish people knew more about me? Probably the I guess the dopamine side of things that I really enjoy talking about and helping people with. So
how so?
How to use dopamine in business. It's actually something that no one really talks about, but it's in my mind, it's a huge advantage.
Okay. So how tell me about what's the advantage of dopamine in business?
Dopamine's an endorphin that the brain produces, and it's your rewards hormone. So when we've got to keep ourselves motivated and do long hours or keep our brain functioning as well as we can and be in flow, as it may be called. Some people refer to it as flow, where everything's just falling in the right place at the right time. Your energy's high. It feels like you're just chewing through time without even noticing it. And you're just right and loving every moment. So that's, I love to be able to try and get into that flow when you're in business because it just helps everything. It helps, particularly I talk about a lot of joint ventures and doing collaborations with other people. So people like to hang out with people they like. So, if there's good energy and there's a bit of vibe in the whole thing, the opportunity is there. A lot more people are more open, more receptive to what you got to say. So, we can use dopamine in a way to stimulate good outcomes in business for that result.
Awesome. And just so quick touch on it for people that don't know, like, how are you currently doing this for yourself? Like, how do you optimize your dopamine?
Yeah. So health and nutrition is really, really important. My background's as a naturopath. And so utilizing all the sort of biohacking techniques in a healthy manner. So just things that you can do on a daily basis to ensure that dopamine is coming into your life. So things like exercise is really, really important, particularly endurance style exercise. So stuff that keeps, pushes you
Your
through
heart
a
rate,
little bit of discomfort is really important. Running, cycling, anything long distance is particularly good. But when you're unfit, anything short as well is useful, because that to you will stimulate your dopamine regardless. Cold water therapy, huge part of my life. I don't like it, but I love it, as in it's very much about putting yourself out of your comfort zone. And I guess it's kind of analogy is like an organic plant or vegetable that's not sprayed. Every time a bug eats that vegetable, it grows back stronger, and natural. Or like antibiotics, if we treat a cold with antibiotics constantly, it actually lowers our immune system. It doesn't allow our body to respond. And that's what exercise and cold water therapy does. It stimulates dopamine to get stronger. It's your body's response to, an uncomfortable environmental change. And it's your body saying, hey, you've done a great job. This is the right way we could be going. There's a reward. Here's how you feel better. There you go. A little bit of a drug. And keep it up. That's what the body's sort of encouraging us to do.
I hadn't thought of it like that. As the antibiotics is the opposite. Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And dopamine is the other side where, well, it's not opposite exactly, but we get more and more and more the more we stretch ourselves. That's really cool. When did you realize that figuring out your brain chemistry was like was something that would help you in business?
Well, I always try and find an edge to business. I've been involved in lots of businesses. I've built 19 different businesses, some really crappy ones, some lost a lot of money in, and some that have done okay, thankfully. But the interesting thing is, even when you're running crappy businesses, losing lots of money, you need to keep your mind and your mindset healthy. Otherwise, you're just going to curl up into a little ball and cry, and that doesn't help anyone.
No.
So that's that's a time in particular that you really need to work on your mindset and your mental health, and your strength and stamina and dopamine and all those things. So I just love to find strategies and tools and techniques that I can bring into my day on a daily basis that helps my business. Everything for me is business focused. So if I can do something healthy that helps my business, with whatever it is, it keeps me more energetic. It allows me to work longer hours. Allows me to keep more mental focus. Well, there's a lot of those things that can be influenced by health. And not everyone puts the two together, but it's the basic foundation. I mean, if you're feeling half dead, it's very hard to be inspired to work and results, I guess.
Was there a specific business or during the steps of building businesses that you realized that this was especially important? When especially?
Particularly, I guess, when I was going through a space of a couple of businesses which were really going the wrong way and losing tens of thousands of dollars every month. And it was then that I realized I've got to do something about this, keep this brain healthy and this mindset high, and optimize. So it's always when you're in the trenches that is when most of your lessons are learnt. So
which businesses were those?
That was when I was doing restaurants, and I'd just come off the back of quite a successful exit, 7-figure exit out of health shops, and I built a supplement brand that I sold around Australia, and that was great. And I had good skills in that, and I thought, hey, I've done it in this industry. Why not come over to restaurants?
Oh yeah.
How hard could it be? And I built one
Oh boy.
restaurant, and that went really well. And then I thought,
Okay.
well, one's good, three must be better, surely. And I jumped into opening two more restaurants, and
Immediately.
yeah, pretty much. Well, after 11 months of successful trade, which was probably a bit immature, a bit too early to make that decision.
Yeah.
But the restaurant was doing incredibly well. So then I thought, well, this is an amazing concept. I can take it anywhere. That a bit of naivety and a bit of arrogance thrown in there.
Nah,
and
normal.
I can, and a lot of stupidity. Forgot that one. But I thought I can take this anywhere. Where's the busiest location in Perth that I can set up my next?
Okay.
And it was in a super shopping centre, huge shopping centre,
Okay.
very, very busy, but completely the wrong demographics.
So what made it fail exactly, you feel?
Well, it was wrong, the wrong demographics. So we were still going this business called Tommy Sugo, and we manufacture pasta. But it's in this shopping centre, it was very much Asian demographics, and the most common question when people came up to the till for to place an order, was, what is spaghetti? Like, they wanted me to explain what spaghetti was.
Wow.
A particularly good solution. It wasn't a good offering to have in that demographics. And I think I should have tested and measured the market. I know I should have tested and measured the market first. But anyway, it's all a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two questions that come to mind. So if you could go back to that moment, like, what would you tell a new restaurant owner that wants to open a restaurant? Like, what's the important thing to keep in mind?
There's so many ways of testing a strategy before you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a fit out. So understanding your customer base is probably one of the most important things. And we could have tested it for a couple $100 and just seen. I'll just go back.
How would you do that specifically?
How would we test and measure? So we run these little pop-up shops selling our pasta in frozen retail store structure. So and we do it in tons of different shopping centres. We probably cover about 15 or 20 across Perth. And it's great. It's very easy. We just roll the freezers in. We sell the product direct to consumers. So we know what shopping centres work and the demographics there. Some shopping centres go crazy, some are crap. So, you got to sort it through. But what we should have done before I spent a few $100,000 on the fit out was just do that, $1,000 on a test of rent for a week in a shopping centre and sold our products. And I would have realised, the sales would have been so crappy that I should have known. Don't touch that shopping centre. So
that's crazy. That's wow. I never would have thought that people ask, what is spaghetti?
Well, would we? It was quite the surprise. Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
And so that business didn't. How long did you keep it there before realizing it wasn't?
3 years. 3 years we were there for, and then we got to the point where it said, look, this is ridiculous. We had other aspects of the business doing really well, like the pop-up shops in good shopping centres. We're running farmers markets, selling the products direct. They were all going really well, and they were sustaining the losses that we were making.
Yeah.
It came to a time where I had to say, no, this is ridiculous. It's sucking too much life energy and cash out of the business. So let's get rid of it, shut it down, and move on.
Yeah, I bet. That's one of the hardest moments in business, probably, where you have to make that decision. For a person who's on an edge, let's say, of maybe business has been hard for a little while, maybe it was going well. How did you make that decision? What?
Very tough.
Yeah,
very tough. For an entrepreneur, we are problem solvers in business. That's what we do. And so thinking that we can't make it something successful was a bit of pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And again, that mental resilience really kicked in, or the need for it really kicked in. But it was a logical decision in the end. It was like, these aspects of the business are doing well. These parts of the business are terrible. Let's just draw a line in the sand, get rid of that, shut it down, sell it off, whatever, get out of it. And it was the best decision I ever made. We have all these things in our mind saying, but that's a failure.
The what ifs.
Yeah. What if everyone comes up to me and says, why you failed, blah, blah, blah. And I had one person afterwards come up and said, you're not in that shopping centre anymore. And I said, no, we're not. And they said, oh, cool, and walked off. That was it. And you build all this stuff up in your brain thinking, what is everyone going to say? Who gives a crap? Just do what's best for you. At the end of the day, who gives a crap what anyone thinks? And just put it down as a learning curve. You can learn so much out of that as long as you don't give up after that, as long as you use that knowledge and bring it forwards into future businesses and transactions and decision making. Fantastic. It's a great learning curve.
Wonderful. Good job. I mean, I bet that's hard because you gotta, it's a team as well. That, for me, at least, that's where I come from. I'm like, letting down other people is not the easiest. And you said that taught you a valuable lesson about dopamine as well, this journey. Why did understanding this molecule become so important for you?
Well, at the end of every day, we have the reports come into, they text it into me from all the different businesses. And then, when you're seeing really terrible numbers, it's pretty depressing. So it's not what I like. It doesn't make anyone's day. And then that started influencing my interactions with my family and bringing me down. So that was really, really important as a learning curve. And now I really focus on just a big part of my day to stimulate that dopamine to be in a good zone so that whoever influences you in a less than positive manner doesn't have a big impact on your mindset, your outcomes, and your performance.
So important. I think many entrepreneurs know that, but many don't put as much importance onto it as well. I like to do triathlon a lot, so
awesome.
This is training every day, but so important.
That's the best sort of thing you can do.
And so you've started, I think you said 19 businesses, is it?
Yeah.
Across many different areas. First of all, do you have a favorite one?
I love them all. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be in it. And I do it because I love it. And I just see there's so many opportunities out there in the world that business is a phenomenal way of creating solutions.
Having fun.
And that's absolutely it. It's got if that's not part of it, I'll get rid of it very quickly. I learned my lesson with the restaurants. That wasn't fun, and I held on to them for way longer
3
than
years.
I should. Yeah. So now it's like, no, if it doesn't light me up, let's not do it. Let's shut it. Let's get out of there. But I'm a little bit more picky on what does light me up. I understand now what floats the boat and what pulls the plug out and drowns the boat.
I bet.
Yeah.
And you have more bandwidth. Yeah, so you can choose, right?
Well, there's just so many opportunities. So it's just like what one can you, and I think that's the key for entrepreneurs that are starting out, like making the right decision, being in the right industry, choosing something with a strong tailwind behind you are all really important factors to factor into your decision making in a business. Because if you're in a very small niche industry that's very hard to get leads, to generate sales. That's quite soul destroying. I want to see results straight away. If I'm launching a new business, I want to see some interest. I want to see some meetings, people, open to connecting and chatting about it. Like I did. Yeah, when I was in, we're in startup phase, but we're running some weight loss programs in some Bali hotels in Bali. You are
no
from,
way.
Yeah,
Bali. Living there a long time.
Yeah. So, 2 years ago, I set up some meetings with 7 hotels over there, and to run a weight loss program. And I went over there and met with 7, and out of the 7, 6 said, "Yeah, this is awesome. Let's do it." So, so those sort of, when you know that quickly that you're onto something, then that gives you a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And momentum is such an important part of business growth, because if you're fighting for every sale, every meeting, every little inch, you're possibly either not doing it well, not doing it right, your outreach message is poor, or you're just in the wrong industry. So, yeah. So
yeah, that's so important. What made you realize that hotels might be interested in a weight loss program? Because I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, interesting actually. So a year before I launched that, I was in Thailand in a quite a nice resort, and I got chatting with the general manager, because I just love to talk to anyone about business. And I was saying how, because my background's in weight loss and naturopathy and health. So, and I was running a few clinics in Perth, 8 clinics in Perth with the weight loss program. So that was my background. So I sort of said to him, "Hey, are you in the wellness space? Are you doing anything?" And he said, "Not really, but every hotel on the planet wants to get into wellness." And I said, "Why? What's the deal with it?" And he said, "It's very lucrative. Like, the type of client that comes from it is willing to pay almost double what anyone else will pay." So we want to create something. And I said, "Great, I've got I've been running weight loss clinics in Australia. Why don't we build you one for your hotel?" And he said, "Yeah, excellent. Let's do that." So I went back to Australia, came up with a concept, built the foundations, came back to him, said, "Okay, I'm ready to go." And he said, "Oh, well, we've got to put it through this channel and that channel and get this red tape around this and get approvals from 378 people." And man. So I said, "Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go out and adapt this." I didn't tell him this, but I said to myself, "I'm going to go, I've spent all this time. It's a great concept. It's great for hotels because it offers things like, hotels have already got good beds." I'm in a hotel right now, actually. It's a bit, I've just done a conference, but so hotels have got good sleeping arrangements, which is part of that health process. They have great food. Most of them have restaurants, and very easy to adapt to ketogenic, which is what I do. And got exercise facilities. They've got swimming pools. They've got, often by the beach. So they've got all the gyms, all this stuff, which is really conducive to a great weight loss program. So I said, so I just adapted it and then offered it to any hotel around the world. So that they can just plug in a weight loss program without having the expertise in-house to have to run it.
I see.
Concept.
That's really cool, actually. That is very cool. So when a customer comes in and either they're staying at the hotel or maybe they're staying there for a little while, and they can say, "Hey, actually, I want to, be taking care of my health at the same time. You hold me accountable. You give me a plan of what to eat, how to sleep." Is that how it works?
Exactly right. And it came from the fact that I was in this Thailand hotel resort with my family. There was 10 of us there, and they were all eating crap like they always do. It doesn't matter what I'm saying to them and what I'm
of course.
who listens to their dad or to to their family.
Yeah, right.
What would he know? So I'm eating my keto breakfasts, and they're all eating their donuts and all the rest. And I thought, well, it's actually easy enough to do. You know, when you go to a buffet at breakfast, there's plenty of ketogenic options, high protein, high fat,
Already.
low carb. You just have to choose it. So I thought, well, I would love, anytime I go to a hotel, I'm health focused. So that's what I want. I would love to go to a hotel where I can eat well and my family can do whatever they need to do. And,
Yeah.
and we can both be happy, you know, with an outcome. So this could be a good scenario for it.
So you just help the hotel make it easy for people to stay healthy as
Correct.
well.
Yeah.
Is the business model a subscription fee from you to the hotel, or is it like ongoing coaching, or is it like a one-time setup?
Yep. So we wanted to make it, and this is so important if you're in business, creating an amazingly powerful offer. Like it's all about the offer. And this is also a key step for creating that momentum, you know, for getting sales across the line. So when I went to these hotels, the offer was ridiculously simple and it was a no-brainer for them. It was, I'm not going to cost you a cent. I'm not going to charge you 1 cent. I'll set up this phenomenal weight loss program. You can use it. You advertise it. I'm good at the program side. I'm not good at bringing the customers in. You're good at bringing the customers in because you're a hotel and you've got that, you know, all the marketing channels. So you can just offer this as a weight loss program. Anytime anyone comes in, purchases the program, then I get a cut of them, the sale. So there's zero risk. If it doesn't work, if it falls on its face, no problem. They're not out of pocket. So they can offer a really good option with an upsell that gets their customers, their clients, their guests to stay 7 to 14 days just for a program, which of course increases the average occupancy rate of the hotel. So it's got a lot of benefits stacked in their favor. For me, I take on the risk because I have to invest the time, but you know, to set up the program and customize it and train this team and all those sort of things. But the idea is it's just a no-brainer and it's very easy for them to say yes and very hard for them to say no because it's amazing opportunity. So I think that's the mindset you have to be when you're creating offers in business, that you've just got to stack all the benefits in that customer's favor. So it really helps.
That's a massive win. Massive win for the hotels. Like, why wouldn't you offer this, especially if they're higher end, they have all the facilities?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. What's the program called? Like, if I go to Bali and I see it in a hotel, I might look out for it.
Yeah, it's a ketogenic weight loss program. Neuroketosis, it's called. So we bring in brain focus, neurology, and optimizing dopamine, getting into, and also the biochemistry side of it. When you're losing weight, it's all very well when you're focused and you're on holiday and you haven't got all the stresses and the meetings and all those sort of things. It's a lot easier to do it. But what we have to do is also work on the brain, obviously, to make long-term change. So it brings in a fair bit of neuro-linguistic programming to help people set new programs, new habits in place for long-term outcomes.
Amazing. I want to go in multiple directions now, but we'll go in the neuro-linguistic programming direction later. So it's one of the important questions that I haven't found an answer to myself is the importance of focus. Because I have one business, which is my main business, and then other things are like side projects, let's say. But I still spend majority of time on one thing. You're running now multiple. How do you manage that? But like, what allowed you to do that sustainably? Let's say.
Look, when I figure that one out, I'll let you know. So. I do it pretty badly, but no. But the fundamentals of it is having a good team. Good that you can throw tasks at. And I've come up. I'll always say to my team, "Oh, got another crazy idea. Let's do this." And I'm yeah, look, I'm trying to narrow it, and you need to narrow your focus. So, I mean, I've done 19 businesses. I probably only focus on 5 of those now. So other ones
Yeah.
I've sold
Still.
or yeah,
Yeah. Still.
um, still a bit,
Yeah.
yeah. But the idea is anything that I go into now is I'll only touch it if I can scale it, automate it, systemize it, and replicate it. If I can't do that without me, then no, thank you. Yeah, I'll give that one a miss. So, and it's good because we're using a lot of tech. There's a lot of automation now that AI is brilliant. There's so many different things that you can use to help scale a business. My focus is always on lead generation. I spend 80% of my day working out how we can get more leads for each of the businesses that I'm involved in.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've got a team that really is great, and they help me execute on that, on those crazy ideas. So that's pretty important. Yeah.
And what makes you still have those 5 businesses instead of, let's say, scaling one to $1 billion brand?
I probably should be doing that. I probably should be focusing on one, but I love it. I absolutely love. I love also not being in the one lane. I find that very boring. And so I've just had to realize I've just got to be at peace of doing this, being very spread out. I mean, one of the businesses, Tommy Sugo, I do spend the majority of my time focused on and building. But I love all of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't do them. And
right.
I just have to do it. I just can't allow those opportunities pass by. Some silly thing wiring in my brain. So,
no, it's awesome. What maybe the opposite question? Like, what do you know about yourself that makes the conventional wisdom of like sticking to one route that makes it wrong for you? What about conventional wisdom makes that wrong for you specifically?
Look, everything. Just possibly being a bit ADD. Possibly, but just I think my background too. I was brought up with very conservative resources. I was a single sole parent, not much money at all, and I think that never wanting to go back to that scenario is just very good motivation to wherever I see opportunity now, I jump on it. So
awesome.
again, it's not the best strategy. It just works for me. I'm happy in that zone. So I don't recommend it to anyone. I think find one thing that you're passionate about and just do that. Don't do what I'm doing. It's madness.
No, I think the point from before of like find something, test it quick, get momentum is the key to starting.
Yeah,
because you can't do a 3-year business that's losing money every month for 3 years unless you have momentum somewhere else as well, right?
Yeah, why would you? And unless there's a long-term plan that for becoming profitable, but not for this one. That wasn't part of it.
Yeah, 100%. That's super, super cool. And so right now you're building your personal brand, like being more on the personal brand side, intentional about this. You also talked about like you like free ways of marketing. If you could like start building your personal brand earlier, or no, if you could like restart with the businesses, would you have wanted to make them more personal brand like, or like include the personal brand side, or do you?
Definitely.
What's made you want to build that?
Realizing that I've had opportunities in the past. Like in my health industry business, I had a great database of customers, and they could have been so easily transferred to everything that I do in today.
Wow. Yeah.
Because you build trust with people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a customer. So there's trust there. You just have to look at people like Richard Branson and Virgin. Richard Branson's the human element of it, and he's got a massive following, way bigger than Virgin. So so people love the connection with a real human. There's no question about that. So I'm focusing more on the brand development, my brand, me as a human, and then I just feel that once people understand that, they'll want to work with me in more different industries. So it can be very much recycling that database and hanging out with people you love and people that trust you and you trust them and bringing them in different industries. So
exactly. What are you hoping to inspire people with your personal brand?
Mainly I suppose being passionate about whatever you do and choosing something that you can really lights you up, so that when you're burning through the hours, it's fun and enjoyable rather than a chore and a job. Life's too short. We need to absolutely love what we're doing, and I think people talk about, oh, you have to have a purpose. You have to find this magical purpose. I've always struggled with that, to find that up front. But what I find is, find something you absolutely love that keeps you up late at night and puts you to bed late, and then find a purpose around that. So find your passion, and the purpose. You can tend to build that around your passion. Otherwise, it's very hard to stick to.
That's amazing. I love your energy, Nathan. Like it's very powerful. Like to just hear people who are passionate, because many people, they focus on what's not working and what's wrong, right? And so just having a reminder that go with the passion.
Absolutely. I mean, you just need to go into the supermarket and, person on checkout barely will give you any eye contact. They go through the routine of, hi, how are you going? And, they're not even looking at you, and they just don't want to be there. And it's like, man, you could be doing so many cool things. Like, we've got so many opportunities on our doorstep now. Why aren't you thinking a little bit more laterally and find something that floats your boat?
Yeah, 100%. We have a few more minutes because there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, which was like you said you didn't mention it yet, but apparently you're writing a book, or you wrote a book, and you had inspired by Tony Robbins, or collaborated with Tony Robbins a little bit, right? So I see you're into the NLP. I didn't look into it too much, actually, but I just thought it would be very cool to mention. What made you want to write a book with Tony Robbins? Also, massive fan.
Yes. Oh, likewise. So I was in a podcast about probably a year ago, and after the podcast, the guest said, "Oh, you've got some pretty crazy ideas." And I said, "Oh, thank you, thank you." I think, and he said, "Would you be interested in doing a chapter in a book that's coming out that's endorsed by Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins?" And I was like,
"Oh, amazing."
I would. So they suggested I talk about business growth, which is the main thing that I do all day, every day, and love doing, and also utilizing dopamine to bring more dopamine into your business day. So I just wrote a chapter in that book. My sister also wrote a chapter. She's very much an entrepreneur in the real estate space across 3 different continents. She's quite big in real estate. And so we just wrote a chapter each and had the opportunity, which was amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, we could talk about this all day, actually. Is there a question that hasn't been answered that you wish you were asked?
One of the other things to talk a lot about, we probably haven't got time to go into it too deep, but is just, if you're in business and you want to grow a business, and I always do it, look for those organic free ways of marketing. And I'll either use guerrilla marketing, which I've sort of moved a little bit away from. I've done a bit of it in the past, but now it's more about creating joint ventures. It took me ages to get my head around joint ventures. But I knew there was an amazing amount of power in a joint venture, and it's just a phenomenal way. If you're in business and you want to grow and scale really, really quickly at zero costs, as joint ventures, you should look into them, because they're absolutely amazing to partner with a business outside of the category that you're in, and both collectively share the outcome and create an offer that's so amazing that couldn't be created independently. So don't think we've got time to dig into it now, but
no, could you give me an example of how you did that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the weight loss programs in hotels is an example of that. We've created a win-win scenario where
wow, yeah,
I can bring the weight loss program and they can bring the resources and facilities. Another one is with Tommy Sugo, our Italian manufacturing pasta business. We joint venture with lots of clubs, charities, and schools, and we say to the schools, "Hey guys, why don't you sell our product? Use it as a fundraiser." And it's brilliant because for them, we have built the world's easiest fundraiser. I mean, it's literally, they don't have to lift a finger and they just have to share. We do everything. They just share the URL, and which is an order form, and we take care of everything else. Right down to social media posts, and we do the graphic design work for their signs that they can print out and put up on the classroom windows. The easier you can make it for a joint venture partner, the better the uptake. So we've done, would be in the hundreds now of those joint ventures and collaborations with different people and businesses. And
very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Works well.
Yeah, I've heard about joint ventures a lot. It's not something I actively focus on, but I know when I heard it the first time, it was at a. Have you heard of Russell Brunson? And
yeah.
It was at Funnel Hacking. Funnel Hacking Live.
Yeah.
One of the speakers talked about joint ventures. Like, it sounds so easy and so lucrative, or like it's like just makes a massive explosion in the business because you're like two big forces coming together, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But you got to find those partners. Right.
Yeah. There's a way of structuring it, so they're interested and reaching out and connecting, and there's a whole lot to it. But I mean, some of the biggest businesses in the world, multinational companies, McDonald's and Coca-Cola, crazy JV, been around forever. I mean, they did so well over the years. They've sold millions of burgers and convinced everyone not to buy water, to go with it, right? That's a great JV.
That's crazy.
Barnes and Noble and who's the coffee guys? They do JVs with, I can't remember the coffee.
With a coffee brand. Oh, wow. Nespresso?
Yeah. No, biggest coffee company in the world. The cafes. So in the US, they're huge. Starbucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, Starbucks.
Yeah. So Barnes and Noble, they brought the customer, and the coffee just kept the customer there. It's an absolutely brilliant one. So, the customer drinks coffee, buys more books. Those are the sort of collaborations that you can think of outside of the category. You don't want to do it in the same category. You don't want to compete with anyone. You want to bring something outside of the category and make an amazing offer that no one else is doing, and the customers will love. So
interesting. I hadn't thought of that as joint ventures. That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's lots of them out there. The breakfast aisle, you just have to walk down the breakfast aisle and you see, Kit Kat's gone into breakfast cereals. Yeah. You see, who else is there? Nutrigrain and Oak. So Oak's a coffee cereal, or what do they do?
Okay.
I don't drink enough. So they bring the flavor, and Nutrigrain bring the cereal, and they're two really well-known brands in completely different categories. They've come together and formed this amazing collaboration, which just brings a completely new product to the market. And I mean, apart from anything, it just shows you there's a lack of adult supervision in the breakfast aisle these days, because there's so much sugar in that bloody breakfast aisle.
It's crazy.
But from the collaboration perspective, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah. Because when I was thinking of collaborations, I often think about whatever lateral is called, or in the same vertical. Yeah. So it was competition. So in Chinese language learning, I haven't figured out. I mean, universities was one of them, but there's still a little bit of competition-ish, because I would need to it would be an add-on.
Yeah. So you might collaborate with a travel agency or something completely outside of your sphere. And you got to set up a phenomenal scenario where it just becomes a no-brainer. Like, what can you offer with so much value packed into that travel agency is going to want to promote you and your service because it make them look phenomenal. Like, come to China and get 3 months of Chinese language training before you even come.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. And then those customers, you bring them into a funnel, and those customers would be then or you might give 2 weeks or 1 day, whatever it is, and then there's an upgrade here if you want to spend more time, and we'll teach you all about how to get around in locations or whatever, in that language. Then
yeah. Wow, phenomenal. Amazing.
Yeah,
Nathan.
Unlimited opportunities. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's so much fun. Actually, I love talking business. But also thank you for going in all these different directions and the stories you've shared. Anything else that hasn't been mentioned that you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I mean, if anyone's out there that wants some help,
where should people connect with you? Yeah, what's the best places?
The website, nathanbaws.com, which should be on the screen. I think we've actually got a free joint venture course, just a really basic one that people are welcome to use. And
amazing.
LinkedIn, if you want to connect through LinkedIn, I'm always happy to talk to business anytime of the day or night.
Awesome. Yeah. The joint venture course sounds very cool. We'll include that as well. Even for like finding business ideas.
Definitely.
So cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Nathan.
Thank you so much, Oskar, for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.